All right, welcome back to my channel, The Awakening for Life, representing the underdog. I'll be your host, Nate, with a lot to say. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I appreciate y'all for taking the time to listen in, because knowledge is power, power is knowledge every single time, right? With all that being said, I got more like a pet peeve or a rant that I wish to get out today. And I don't know how YouTube guidelines is, especially for the freedom of speech and how all that stuff works. So I'm going to pretty much walk on eggshells, but at the same time, I'm going to get my point across. Because I'm looking at a lot of things and it just isn't appealing from the outside looking in. So let me just jump right into it. If it's one thing that irks me the most, right, is I cannot stand when someone has a belly full of, a full belly, a full plate, a full glass of water. They got the world at their fingertips. Everything is going their way. And yet you would think that despite having all this stuff going for them, that they will be content. That they will finally say to themselves, I have indeed reached the American dream. That I have indeed reached levels that I have finally made it. Here I have my castle. I pretty much have, my whip that can get me from to and from places. I got my 3.5 kids. I have a little small woofer. I pretty much have it all. Huge savings, bank account. My wardrobe is looking great. I have 5 million shoes, 500 pairs of clothes here and there. Like, I'm there. I'm the person. I'm either him or I'm her, right? And you would think from the outside looking in that will be enough. But what I'm able to see in real time is when a person has all this stuff, it never becomes enough, because now that they have what they have, now the new norm is to basically not only have what they have, but also take what little that you have, what little that you are trying to accomplish in the game. And here you are operating on an empty belly. Your plate is empty. Your glass is empty. But you've been trying desperately to even get a crumb. And they won't even let you have that. Time when the crumb hits the plate, here they come here. Swipe. Then they move out. Here's another crumb. Swipe. They take that. Here's another crumb. Swipe. Every single time that you try to get some momentum and you try to put yourself first, they go trying to take a little bit of the momentum you have and they try to destroy it. And that's one of the things that pain me, because you have more than enough. You have everything. And here you're just trying to work your way up. You're trying to make something happen. You're trying to take little opportunities and make them big the best way that you know how. And what some people don't understand is this. As we all come from different walks of life, we all have different childhood experiences of what we went through. In other words, we're all not the same. And some of us, once we finally have gained control and gained access to our lives, we have to pretty much relearn a lot of the things that we were never taught. Don't you know we have to learn how to be happy? That's the thing. We have to learn how to be happy. We have to teach ourselves literally how to be happy. We have to teach ourselves how to love. We have to teach ourselves how to empathize and sympathize for other people. We have to teach ourselves a lot of the traits that can make us a better human being. It's almost like learning how to read, learning how to write, learning how to spell, learning how to ride your bicycle. You're basically learning the fundamentals to make you a decent person. And then when you have finally found your footing in life, when you have finally found your calling, it's like a breath of fresh air. Now you're ready to really step into your real self that you've been suppressing for so long. And the reason why you've been suppressing yourself, because here, some of you come from situations where your parents said, hey, you can be anything that you want to be in the world. And you literally took that as you can be anything you want to be in the world, as long as it's positive, as long as you're not hurting anybody, right? So now the day comes where you want to choose a certain path or a certain lifestyle for yourself. And the same parents that was teaching you this now that you're pretty much 17, almost 18 years old, we'll throw our little timeline. No, you can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. But you just said, so now you're confused. Now you rather say nothing. Or sometimes you grow up watching your parents of how they treat other people, and these other people resonate with you because it's something that you really truly feel inside. So now based on how they handle other people, how they talk down to other groups of people, you hesitate to show them anything because you don't want to be wrapped in the category of being belittled or feeling small. So you've been suppressing it in for a very, very long time. And now you have control of that, and now you realize now that there's a penalty of what this country is trying to make when you choose to be yourself. And here, you ain't even commit a crime. Come on, baby. You ain't even commit a crime. You ain't harmed nobody. You ain't hurt nobody. But again, it's always about that one crumb that you're trying to get. You can't even take the crumb. You can't even wet your mouth and then get the crumb and put it in there. You put it in your mouth. You can't even eat it. Because by the time that crumb hits the plate, swipe it. Right? And some of us as underdogs and loners and outcasts, people like myself, right? We understand this all too well. That's why we're not fazed by it, because we understood from minute one what the game was. We trained our minds to embrace the struggle, to embrace the oppression. Because this struggle, this oppression, the bad times, the ugly times, the evil times, the hard times, all this stuff that puts us in the bind, we're going to transform it, we're going to recycle it, and then guess what we're going to do? We're going to come back stronger. So at the end of the day, we're going to be the last one standing, because all those times prepared us to be stronger than we was ever before. If we didn't have all those struggles, and we didn't have that oppression, we didn't have this going on and everything, we wouldn't been the type to make it today. We wouldn't be able to stand to tell our stories and to do the things that we do. Because all struggle does is train your mind to get better. Yeah. When people think, I used to think, when I was young, every time when a person would slam the door in my face, just every time they slam the door, every time they say that, oh, you never have a spot over here, you never have a spot over there, I used to feel some type of way about it. I get so worked up in a frenzy, I'd be like, ugh! I'd be so mad. I'd be going off, right? And I'm like, why is this door shut? I go to this door, right? Swipe. Go to another door. Swipe. But then I realized something about myself. All those doors that were shut in the face, all the insults, all the finger pointing, the name calling that comes with everything. Ain't nothing you can do to me that I've already done to myself. So I take it now, like, let me have another. Keep putting it in my pocket. Let me have another insult. Keep putting it in my pocket. Let me have another insult. Keep putting it in my pocket. I'll take all your insults and put it in the pocket, because guess what I'm going to do next? I'm going to turn around. I'm going to wash my clothes and get rid of the filth. Come on. I'm going to wash my clothes and get rid of the filth and keep on moving and keep on going. Damn. So when I deal with somebody who is like this, who is trying to utilize the leverage to bully and demean, that don't faze me. I continue to get up. get going. That's what we do. But some of us that are not at that level, right? We don't know how to handle it. We don't know how to deal with it because it's a constant bombardment of this. Constant. And as they say, life and death is in the power of the what? Life and death is in the power of the tongue. So the actions that we speak, we can either build somebody up and tear them down. And to tear somebody down, that's a wicked predicament to be in, because you might be very well responsible, honestly, for the person checking out. That's why we're being very kind with our words. And that's what life has taught me overall, gaining wisdom and from people from different insights, is to pretty much watch the words. Whenever you try to wish ill will on somebody, and I get it, man. There are people out here, man, that, ooh, buddy, ooh, That's the first step of maturity. That's the first step of reaching growth, is the understanding that your words could do a lot more damage than your fist. Because words are strong and words are hard to come back from. And in this America that we live in, there's just so much, again, projection around. There's so much projecting. Everybody's looking at the next person, looking at this person. Everybody's trying to find out what's trending. Just be you. Rock it. Be you. Do what you do. Because at the end of the day, they'd rather see a house empty with nobody in it than to see a family that's on the streets that could potentially occupy that house and be happy and make it a comfortable pad to sleep in. That's the world we live in. We live in a world that keeps talking more about the problems than the solutions. They keep talking about the problems rather than building up. And again, that comes with a person that already has a full plate. So none of the stuff of what they're throwing out there isn't really going to affect them. It's affecting people like us. Rather you agree to disagree, at the end of the day, you had something that was taken away from you. From the people at the top. Because it's never enough. I said this in the last video, the machine would never get full. The beast would never get full. It always requires more and more and more. And this is where you make a stand. And if you're the underdog and you really contemplating on, well, shall I be myself? Take it. Be yourself. Be yourself. Find that passion within you to be who you want to be. Because you deserve to have a full belly too. You deserve to have a full glass of water. You deserve to pretty much be in a position where you too are comfortable. Because the world wasn't made for a selected few, it was made for all of us. But it's a selected few that have a problem with all of us winning, all of us thriving, all of us living well. It's a selected few that have a problem with change. Yeah, with change. And you know why change hasn't occurred? I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why change hasn't occurred. Change hasn't occurred because the people that are doing the most are unwilling to take the steps to change. So if you're already battling something within yourself and you heavy-hearted and heavy-minded, if you already battling something, you're not going to want to change, so why should the world change? Even though we are temporary vessels in a permanent world. So eventually the change that we can't do in this generation, I guarantee the next generation will look at this and be like, we have done this for way too long. We have faults. It's time to change. This ain't it. Sorry for you. Eventually, you're going to have those who are going to get tired of war. You're going to get tired of the bickering, the battles, the back and the forth and the this and the that. So what am I saying? I'm saying that when a person like this that already has a lot more going on and they make the choice to bully others that don't have as nearly as much, I don't have respect for that. And I'll say it here on YouTube, I don't have respect for that. I don't have respect for bullies. I don't have respect for people who belittle others. That's a coward move. That's a coward move. It really is. Because someone along the way had encouraged you or gave you the break that you needed in order for you to have all that stuff. Somebody molded you. Somebody at one point in time spoke life into you to help you gain access to what you got. Oh, but nobody helped. There was somebody. There was somebody. There was some kid that believed in you. There was some mentor, some old person. Somebody helped you make what you made today. In other words, you just came from Egypt with shackles on your hands. But the thing about it is, when you reach that level of success, people forget about those shackles. They forget. They forget quick. They forget how they too was once oppressed. And when you know, they forget that they too was once oppressed. They too was in shackles. They too was being ridiculed and everything. So why would you go on here and take what was a part of you and project it upon somebody else who's going through the exact same thing that you was going through? Come on, baby. Come on. Why? What's the whole point of that? Isn't the whole point of those things happening to you is to give you a purpose of redirection? A purpose of redirection so then you can take and liberate all? Isn't the whole idea is for you to liberate all so everyone can sit at the dinner table? So everyone can, yeah. So everyone can, isn't that the whole point? For all of us to, or, almost messed up my nail right now. That is the whole point. If a small group of people is affected, or a large group of people is affected, isn't the whole moral of the story is to tell the tale so we can prevent more from being affected? I don't know. I try to throw it out there as the messaging. It doesn't make sense to basically say, well, I got mine. That's another thing too, dealing with well, I got mine, so bump everybody else. It's almost like, just to give you an example, here's some food here or something like that, and I'm getting my. I got mine, so don't worry about nobody else. I mean, is that where we at? Because I would like to know. Because it's like, we all can make it. We all can make it, but the things that are being spoken to us right now above the surface is, oh, your category, your category, your category, your category, your category, your category. Bump all these categories and bring humanity together. That's how it should be. Once we learn that lesson, once we learn the lesson of bringing everybody as one, and we can thrive as one, and we can put back the differences, oh, we all living good. And it can be that way. It can be that way. But it's never going to be that way as long as a small group of people try to convince a majority of people that something's being taken from them. Because what's being taken from you the most is your time. That's what's being taken away is your time. And they're doing a good job of it. I don't know. Let me know how y'all feel in the comment section. Again, this is just me free thinking, all right? Again, it may be positive, it may be negative, it may be neutral. I'm just taking the different perspective. I'm just trying to think. And this is a better way to throw it out there. What they say, YouTube broadcast yourself. So thank you guys for listening in. I look forward to hearing your comments. I'm also going to make some new and exciting content. I'm going to keep it active. I'm going to keep it live. I'm going to keep it going. Again, but you got to start somewhere. That's all I have. See y'all next time.